Welcome back, guys. Matt King Corduroy here, and today we're looking at something I recently restored. From the bottom up, this thing was dead as a doornail when I got it. It's a Dell Dimension 4300S from 2001. It's a great little computer, a Pentium 4 system, and I use it for Pentium 4 era gaming, of course. And it's surprising what it can actually run. It's quite cool. It is quite limited also in its own way, as you'll see when we crack it open. As I said, it's a Pentium 4. I've upgraded it from the original 1.8 gigahertz Pentium 4 to a 2.8 gigahertz Pentium 4. I think that's the highest it can take. It has the original 2 sticks of 256 megabytes of RAM, totaling as 512 megabytes, of course. And I haven't upgraded that because it's very hard to find PC-133U in anything over 256 megabytes for some reason, and it's quite expensive on the internet as well as a result. So I just kind of left it as it is. It kind of plays everything I want to some extent. Doesn't really do Grand Theft Auto San Andreas because it'd be too slow, and I remember that running slow on some Core 2 Duo computers I had, so I'm not even going to try it on here. It does run some surprising stuff though, like Oblivion, which we'll be looking at later, which is really, really cool. I didn't think that would work, and it does. So yeah. I should also mention that I've upgraded the graphics card in this computer. Originally it came with an ATI Rage 128, which is a 32 megabytes 4x speed AGP card. Now it has the 4x AGP slot in it, but I was able to stick an 8x card in there because it could do dual 4x and 8x. It is the Jaton 3DForce 6200XE-DVI, as you can see over there. It's basically an Nvidia 6200, but the budget version. And it's a 1 gigabyte graphics card. It really helps me out in running a lot of these games because I don't think it would be possible otherwise, honestly. As you can see, this computer is very ergonomically designed. Everything is a kind of curved surface, which is quite nice, pleasant on the eye. It kind of makes you go shoo with your eyeball. The fact that it is dark also kind of screams early 2000s. Just generally the whole look of this screams early 2000s. The neat thing about this computer is that it is like the Compact I showed before, the Compact EP, in that it can be stood on its side since it has little feet on this end. But I prefer to keep it on this mode. And as for these can be rotated. I'm not sure how to get that one yet, but if you want to do that one, you just open it up and turn it to the side, and then you're good. It's sideways. Now, since I prefer to have it as a desktop, I'm going to keep it like that. Now, taking a look around the back here, we can see that it is kind of a standard ATX looking layout, except that it doesn't have VGA on the actual motherboard. It has an AGP card and a riser slot right here for PCI, which is what these are. I left a modem card in there inexplicably. I didn't realize I did that, but just to fill the slot, I guess, to prevent dust from getting into the system unnecessarily. Anyway, this motherboard has a parallel port on it. It has a serial communications port right there. It has PS2 keyboard and mouse. It has 2 USB in the back here. It has 2 USB in the front underneath that flap, and also a headphone jack in the front. It has a sound out in the back, line in the back, and also a microphone in the back. Now, as I said, this is an AGP slot, and as I said before, it had a Rage 128 in it, and I replaced that with the Jaton card, which is what this is, and I have to adapt it from DVI to VGA, and I have one of those adapters on the cable for the monitor itself. This is the power supply down here. It is an atypical type of power supply, but pretty ordinary for Dell to do that sort of thing. As I said, modem card and a LAN Ethernet 10100 card. Getting the system open is quite easy. It has 2 buttons on either side. You just push those in and open it right up, and the whole thing tilts forward, and you have access to the internals. Okay, so in order to show you the inside of the computer in greater detail, I've decided to take the camera off of the tripod and go mobile here. Now, first thing we want to look at is the RAM, and that is our PC-133U, and it is 2 256 megabyte sticks, totaling at 512 megabytes of RAM. This computer can handle up to a gig of RAM, which is barely enough to run the later 2000s games such as Grand Theft Auto and Oblivion, and I will be showing Oblivion off later. It's kind of playable if you like playing in really, really low graphics modes. But yeah, so there's our processor. It's a 2.8 gigahertz Pentium 4, socket 478. We got the short, small form factor blower here for the cooler. And as I said, this is a new motherboard. I'll tell you what the chipset is when we look at the actual system specs in the operating system, because honestly I don't remember right now. But everything in this case is toolless. You don't need a screwdriver to remove anything in here. It's just all clips, which is really, really nice. Oh, I'm really bad at doing this though. There we go. There we go. Okay, and there's our Jaton graphics card. It is a basically an Nvidia 6200. Nothing too special there. It's a 1 gigabyte card. It is really, really nice actually, and definitely does its job. So yeah, let's just put it back in there and clip it back in place. Now, in order to take out any of the rest of this stuff, you basically just lift up and it comes right out. It's really nice and easy. There's our Ethernet card and other card. There is our Dell power supply, and same with that, just slides forward to come out. Same with the motherboard, slide it forward to get it out. All of these drives have rails on them to take them out, so it's super easy. I had to actually order these drive rails for this hard drive because I didn't have the original hard drive that came with it, and someone had taken the rails and lazily cut the power supply Molex cable, this guy right here, on the original power supply, so it was completely useless. So that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and put it back together and I'll show you it in action. Okay, so I've focused it on the screen as best I can. My camera kind of has a little window, so it's really hard to see what I'm doing. But and I don't have a graphics capture card yet, so I will invest in one of those eventually. But it should be fine, good enough for right now. As you see, we put it into Windows XP, and if we go into here, we can verify the specs I said earlier. It is a Pentium 4 CPU, 2.8 gigahertz, 512 megabytes of RAM. And if we go into the hardware profile, you will see that it is the 82801 chipset, and the sound is similar. It is the 82801BA/BAM AC97 compatible audio controller. Now let's go ahead and look at some games for this thing, because I really want to show off what its capabilities are, and it's quite a capable system, surprisingly, for a Pentium 4 system. It's quite nice. Okay, so here we are in Oblivion, and I just got a message from this dude that I'd never seen before. It was like, it's a bad day for you to side up with the Empire, or whatever, and I had never heard that before, so that's pretty cool. As you can see, it's kind of playable. It runs pretty decently, but you'll see, once we get into the more complex environments, it don't do so good. Kind of chokes, and I have it on the lowest settings possible. It's 640 by 480 resolution, which doesn't look bad, admittedly. It looks fine, but I mean, oh my god, them textures, though. So, bow is what I want. Let's do this. And I am curious as to what it'll look like once we get outside, which is just up ahead, really. There we go. Mr. Ratimus Maximus. There we go. I swear there was another one out here or something. Oh, there, right there. Oh, yeah. Ah, come on. Let me grab it. There. I would have been boss if I had caught it right in midair. Anyhow, next. Dude, no way. Again. Missed completely. Didn't think I'd be able to kill that guy in one shot, but apparently that's all it takes for a goblin. Not for the Goblin King, but just for these goblins. Never met a Goblin King. That's not. That's worse than I was expecting. Oh my god, that's freaking. It's playable, but it's like Morrowind. It's. Ooh, that's not very good. Person with a bad computer trying to play this would not have got the full experience for sure. That's really freaking bad. Damn, man, you can't see anything. I remember the first time I booted this up, I was like, you can see grass and stuff in the distance, and blah, 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 blah. You know, it was really freaking cool. But this does not do it justice in the slightest. I'm gonna get killed right here, but what the hell, why not, right? YOLO. I swear this is a bandit camp. Yeah, it is. But you couldn't even see him from long enough away to actually even protect yourself. There we go. So it's playable, but it's not nice. Definitely not a pleasant experience. Okay, so here's Grand Theft Auto 3. Now I showed this on the IBM NetVista M41 when I did that video, and as you remember, it ran really bad on that graphics card it had in it. And I think it had around the same amount of RAM, but without a good graphics card, it just runs terrible. But as you can see here with this Jaton graphics card I put in here, or Nvidia 6200, which is what it really is, it runs silky smooth. It's very nice, actually. Ooh, shit, that is not what I meant to do. Oh, crap. And I've already dented up the car. Here, wait a second, let's crash through this glass. Boom! Love that. There. And let's do this. Yeah, no lag or anything. Runs smooth. Smooth as hell. Ooh, I went the wrong way. Hold on, let me turn around. There we go. Grand Theft Auto 3. Smooth. Very smooth. I like that. Okay, and for the last game we're going to be looking at is Flatout 2 by Bugbear Entertainment, and it's quite a cool game. Whoa, 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 whoa. And as you see, it is beautiful. It runs really, really well. I'm just not used to driving like this. Oh, damn. It didn't work at all. No! Controls do feel a little bit slow. It's kind of weird. They're like swampy. I don't know if it's the fact that the computer's running it a little bit slow or what, but they feel a little unresponsive. It might just be the car I chose, to be perfectly honest. Oh, look at them graphics though. That's pretty freaking cool. This is a Pentium 4 computer, keep in mind, and that is pretty freaking cool. Fully deformable cars with these reflections and stuff like that. That is wicked. And totally destructible terrain and stuff. Every single bit, like you see, every sign and everything can be crushed and cracked off of there. Pit maneuver. Look at the damage it got up in the corner here. Oh fuck. Just jump it down back in here. Wiped out. Oh, God. Damn, completely lost control there. But yeah, Flatout 2, freaking amazing game. Runs great on this computer with the Jaton. You're gonna need a better graphics card than the original Rage 128 that came with this for obvious reasons, because it's not gonna run this, and it's not gonna run a lot of games you want. So you're definitely gonna need to slap something in there that's better than the default. Let's try and get this guy. Yeah. Oh, well, I almost wiped myself out. So that's been a look at the Dell 4300S from 2001. It's a nice little Pentium 4 system in a small form factor case. Exactly what I was looking for, and pretty much exactly what I needed. It's a little annoying that it's limited at 1 GB of RAM, but it is what it is, and I think I'm going to be keeping this one. I like it a lot, especially since the whole package. You know, if it was just the computer and the keyboard, and maybe even just the mouse, then I wouldn't be as attached to it as I am right now. Now that I have everything with the monitor and everything, it's a nice looking computer. I'm Mad King Coterie. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I like to hear from you guys, and check out my website because I'm also building one of those, and there'll be high resolution pictures of this computer up there and articles in between the reviews I do here on YouTube. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.